Hello and welcome to another Star Citizen podcast. I am your host, BoredGamer. It's the 11th of August. I'm here with Zonia, also known as Zinnia.
Oh my God.
Say hello, Zinnia.
Hello, Zinnia.
Perfect. We call Zin Zonia when she's not in the room to try and summon her. Zin, how you doing?
I'm alright, mate.
Good. We played board games over the weekends.
We did.
It was a particularly unproductive board game session. Got our asses handed to us in Slay the Spire for the first time ever. And we were very scared on a planet underwater in ISS Vanguard. But we are back. We're playing Star Citizen again. We're doing Star Citizen podcasts. We're going to be talking about it. Alpha 4.3.0. That's the big patch on the PTU at the moment. That's had some updates and lots of people have been able to complete this now to some degree because you can technically support all 4 of the mega corporations if you want to, but a lot of people have got the level of contribution they want now with the org they want, but a lot of people still haven't played because they want to play this when the freight elevators are fixed or they're being unlucky and the freight elevators are constantly broken. So do you think this is a good idea to extend it into 4.3, the resource drive, and to extend it potentially into the whole of the patch? So that it will end when 4.3 ends.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, even if it might cause some side effects with the actual event causing issues.
I mean, hopefully it won't.
We live on hope with Star Citizen.
Yeah.
That's at least 25% of the power of Star Citizen, and funding is based on hope. There are more fixes for the event. There are more fixes for freight elevators in 4.3, and CIG have basically said, yeah, we want players to experience the resource drive event with all of those additions and in a better state, and it's probably going to be for the whole of 4.3 that's extended through. It will be interesting to see how players make use of that time and if they enjoy that. Something else that 4.3 has is obviously those Onyx facilities, which are going to be the other major thing that people are doing, and there's loads more fixes with them in the last PTU patch. They've also re-implemented ladders. Well, the ladder improvements, I should say.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure they didn't remove the ladders.
No, but they removed the improvements. They removed ladders 2.0, space ladders, and now they've re-enabled them again. So that should be pretty good for a lot of people. I'm not sure why they removed them. I suspect they were causing some sort of bug or they needed to do something to them. There's also been a light fighter rebalance ahead of the new Kruger intergalactic light fighter launch. They've nerfed the Volt sniper rifle. You haven't used it yet, have you?
Nope.
It was it's sort of more of a marksman rifle, really, but I mean it acts as both. It just had a ridiculous fire rate and it was pretty powerful, so they've reduced its fire rate. It's still pretty good. It was really accurate as well. Now if you spam loads of shots it kicks up a bit, or at least it's slightly less accurate. Also, I cannot confirm or deny the testing of some other updates in Evocati that are happening this week. But there might be. There might not be. Zin.
Yeah.
Are you excited for 4.3 going to live at some point this month? Or do you think there's not actually that much content there?
Maybe.
So we played in the Onyx facilities a bit and we had problems. Just lots of random bugs, like clipping through the floors, lag and desync, PvP stuff going on. So stuff that I don't really want to deal with if I don't have to. So we're looking forward to playing this potentially this week a bit more because there have been a load of fixes. So we'll see what happens with that. Have you seen the spoilers, Zin? And this is a spoiler warning for people for like a couple of minutes. For the Kruger intergalactic light fighter that people have been talking about.
No, I have not.
So have a look at those newsletter sneak peeks and of the loading screens of Alpha 4.3, which is where the sneak peeks and the ship has basically been revealed. So it's interesting. Obviously they go, sneak peek in the newsletter, sneak peek in the newsletter, and then they reveal the ship just before launch of the patch, and that's sort of how they've been doing it recently, and bam, they have a ship sale. But they sort of revealed the name and the look of the ship, even if it is a little smaller picture, a bit blurry, in the loading screen of 4.3. In the Terra Gazette, it's called the L21 Wolf, and it's a cool little tiny sleek looking fighter. What do you think of it? Are you looking forward to another light fighter in game? Do you think it's going to be popular, or you're like, meh?
It's not really my sort of thing.
No, you want more medical ships, don't you?
Well,
or
medical and just I prefer the slightly bigger ships.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. No, that's fair. Yeah, this is going to be as small as a light fighter can be, pretty much, as I understand it. And the MFD is interesting because it's got like a clock in one of the shots, but it's just a round MFD in another shot, and maybe this is going to be able to show lots of different stuff. And they've just gone, one of the things that MFDs can do is show time. Any idea what a small light fighter like this is going to be priced at for real money?
What, like £80? $80?
Oof, that's quite expensive.
I don't know.
Maybe. It depends how combat orientated it is, and does it punch above its weight class, which is a constant theme. Yeah, it'll be interesting to find out. I think it's going to be between, actually, why not? Between 60 and 80, I'll say. And tell us what you think in the comments below, and are you looking forward to the ship, or is it not one for you? Ship Showdown's in.
Yes.
Phase 1 ends tomorrow at some point. This is just the popularity on social media of a load of ships, and then some voodoo magic and some stats from in-game that will generate the top 16 ships. But we probably know what those top 16 ships are already when Phase 2 begins on the 18th of August. So there's a few days gap there for CIG to put together a single elimination tournament and plan the free fly and the sales and all that sort of stuff. Have you seen the graphs and the sort of updates?
I haven't seen the updated ones. I am looking at them now.
So they did a leaderboard update on the 5th of August or so, and then they updated it on the 8th or 9th of August, and basically went, there's no change in the divisions for the standings of the top 4 ships in each. And it looks to me like the top 2 in each of those divisions has just pulled ahead more, so it's very likely that the top 2 will make it into the top 16. It's not guaranteed, but it's very likely. And for that, for the industrial ones, we have the Vulture and the Mole. For the racing ones, we have Razor and M50, Combat's Polaris and F7 Hornet Mark II. Pathfinder is the Zeus ES and Corsair. Freighter is Raft and Asgard. Alien is Prowler Utility and the Talon. Ground vehicles are the Urza Medivac and MTC, and the underdogs are the Gladiator and 85X. Did you expect any ships to make that list that aren't there yet, or just aren't there?
Not really. I mean, I guess I just don't know what people like, so...
Well, it sort of changes, right? And it's going to change a lot based on whatever CIG decide are the groupings and what's most popular and accessible. So things like the Vulture, yeah, that makes sense. Things like the Raft, yeah, 100% makes sense because they've updated that. They're both accessible. They're both really useful in game now. Obviously, the Idris, even though it's flyable, is not eligible. But things like the Argo Cargo, the F8, the Cutlass, the ATLS, the Mercury Star Runner, I did expect to turn up here, and they just haven't. And there's probably a load of other ones as well, especially ones that have previously come pretty high, or the C1, the Spirit. There's a load of ships that I would have expected to be there, but a lot of them are within their categories the new hotness or relatively hot. Yeah, I definitely would have expected the F8 and the combat one. But I suppose the F7 Mark II is significantly more accessible. And the Polaris wasn't available in the last ship showdown, I think. So people are like, oh, big capital ship, that's cool. Out of those, any idea what you think a top 4 might be?
Polaris.
So you think the Polaris is go, yeah, okay. So I think the Vulture and the Raft.
Yeah, Vulture and the Raft, Polaris, and probably the Zeus.
Okay.
I don't think the Prowler is going to be good enough. Urza Medivac's not going to be good enough. Gladiator is not going to be good enough.
Yeah. So that's a good point, actually. The list as well, in the first round of Phase 2, they're all going to be put up against each other in their own section. So the Mole and the Vulture will go against each other in Industrial, I believe. So it's likely that the ones that are most popular in those categories already will go into the top 8. It's going to be a good sales period for CIG, and I think that it'll be a nice little competition. It'll be interesting to see who wins. I think the Raft will probably win this time. Tell us what your favourite ships are in the comments below and what you're hoping will magically turn up. It's weird how CIG do this, but every year you're going to have a very different list in the top 16, because I do think CIG, there's a level of fluff in the numbers because they're allowed to choose which interesting things that people have done on social media or how they influence their decisions. So if you've made a Corsair out of matchsticks, someone might go, oh yeah, put that in the top 4. That's been kicked up a gear or something. Tell us who you think's going to win in the comments below. Zin!
Yeah?
Talking about ships, The monthly report actually gave us a load of information. The Perseus and the Apollo are almost ready. Even if they suddenly were like ready next week, do you think they'd hold these back for the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo? Or do you think they'll actually just put them in a patch as soon as they're ready?
I think they'd probably wait, or they might do an Idris.
They might do an Idris. Can you explain what you mean to that, especially to people that don't understand what that means?
Just release it out of the blue unexpectedly, and not when they said they were going to release it.
Yeah, but they typically do it as part of a marketing thing, right? When they think they can make the most money from it.
They did do it during the...
Fleet Week.
Yes, Fleet Week, that was the one, thank you.
And it boosted sales ridiculously. The marketing team have got a good grasp on what works financially. Love it or hate it. But so the Perseus and the Apollo, they're plowing through their Lot Zero stuff and they're going to be ready pretty soon. And yeah, I'm expecting them to be released at the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo, but Zin is correct. They might do a Idris with them and just release them when they're ready. I'm hoping that they do an Idris with the Javelin and release that either Fleet Week next year or the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo as well. We do know that CIG are working on 4 unannounced vehicles. Almost certainly the L21 is one of them. The other 3 could very well turn up during the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo.
I mean, I think it's close enough that they're going to probably hold the ships until then.
Yes, it makes sense to, right?
Yeah.
And they've probably got all their plans for IAE, and they've probably recorded any major videos for it already, right? Or started to.
Yeah.
Especially if they've got like Jack Smith Cleary or whatever turning up. That probably takes a little bit of prep. Something else ship-wise, we learnt that the Kraken's got a small medical facility that's been added. People I expect will be like, oh yeah, it's a capital ship. They probably should have, at the very least, small medical facilities.
Drake don't really care.
Well, no, you're right. But there's probably more incidents that happen on Drake ships which will require medical facilities. It will be a very bare bones medical facility. Also, the Paladin, the Ironclad, and Ironclad Assault continue their way through a white box and grey box. I was hoping they'd be released by the end of the year. That's potentially still the case. We'll have to wait and see. I'm not really sure how long the turnaround is going to be on those ships. Alpha 4.3 continues to receive work. That's going to be the September patch. We learnt that they've been working on crafting, which they've said they've continued to reevaluate the scope for the first public release. Zin, do you think the first public release they're talking about is what they've got listed for like Star Citizen 1.0? Or do you think this is a step towards the crafting plans they've got? They're just going to go, well, actually, the first public release is just going to have very minimal crafting, and that's going to come in a patch well before the rest of crafting.
Maybe. Quite possible. I mean, it says for the first public release. I think if it was planned for 1.0, they'd say 1.0. I think this is going to be if it's just even if it's on the like the engineering on the
tech preview build. That's quite possible, right?
It's still a public release.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm expecting it to be very minor crafting, just crafting of FPS items or small components, something like that. Crafting is all connected to progression and base building and loads of other, pretty much everything else in Star Citizen economy-wise. And so bear that in mind. But it's going to be a very small, minor release, I would expect to start with. Hacking as well was talked about, where they said more options were added to help teach players how to use the feature. So that sounds like it's coming out pretty soon, if they're onto that stage of it. And what are you expecting from hacking as a gameplay loop, not as a
pipe
cheater?
Puzzles.
Pipe. Yeah, no. I'm with you. That's what they had said ages ago, that they sort of had planning for hacking, and it's probably very similar to that. Yeah, quite genuinely. Engineering, as you mentioned earlier, that's entered the tech preview preparation phase, and they've moved it onto a staging stream ready. That sounds like real soon we're going to get that to tech preview. However, I have been saying that for a couple of months now. Hopefully that'll be this month or next month with engineering and all the new updates for that. Are you interested in dealing with engineering problems and running around as an engineer on your ship at all?
Yeah, I think it'd be great.
Cool.
Like, I'd quite like to do like join some other group, and just help out on their ship.
Be a crew person.
Yeah.
Don't think where we're going or what we need to do. Just make sure that we can do it. Perfect. Yes, I'm very similarly inclined. They've also been working on flight system updates, control surfaces, atmospheric flight, quantum travel updates, where we know that they're getting rid of nav mode and they're sort of merging it just with you power up your quantum drive. That's effectively what the nav mode is. What else? They've put more ammo in more shops, so you don't have to scour the verse to find ammo for your weapon.
It's not more ammo, it's more common ammo.
more common ammo. That is correct. Like rockets and special weapons and stuff are still hard to find, I think. R&D are working exclusively on performance and optimizing engine game code as well now. I think that's going to make a lot of people happy. They want, obviously, better networking stuff, but also better engine stuff. They want Vulkan integrated better. We know that CIG are going to be moving over to Vulkan from DirectX in the pretty near future. Let's hope that gives us some frame boosts. Subflare. Have you seen the latest Subflare?
Yes, you had it in one of your videos.
Yeah, I really like this. I like the firefighter-esque outfit. There's sort of colours for that make me feel very firefighter-y. And I love the Valakar specimen. Is this the sort of stuff you like as well?
Not really.
Oh, see.
I like more useful things.
But, I know, like a medic's uniform.
I mean, that's not useful.
Like a police uniform. Now, okay. I think with sub-promo stuff, I don't want it to give you any form of advantage. I just want it to look cool.
Yeah. But what if the advantage is just, I don't have to go out and buy some armour?
That is a bit of an advantage because it's less faff. But I'm totally with you. If they give me medical tools and weapons and armour and stuff like that, I just go, oh, cool. Yeah, I will buy that because that saves me time. As long as it's mine, I suppose I'm okay. But I like this. This suit, this is very good against fire.
Yeah?
Yeah, it is. That's going to be really important when we have engineering, especially when there's lots of fire around and you're like, oh God, why aren't I in my firefighter's gear? Because I wasn't expecting to deal with a fire. So you have to run into the room with your firefighter gear, which is on fire. I can see the problem. You need to be very prepared to go into a situation, I suppose, with the correct biome gear, as it were. They also said that this was delayed to a future patch, which assumedly is they're going to release it with 4.3 is what they mean. But so Zin and I will be playing some more 4.3 later this week. We're hoping that the Onyx facilities are a bit more accessible to us playing them. I know a lot of people have had great experiences with them. I've had some great experiences with them, but when I was playing with Zin, everything was against us. I'm not pro PvP in these areas, and it just felt like there's no disincentive for them to do PvP there, really. They might getting kicked out. I think they need to get kicked out of the area if they're PvPing. And I think there needs to be, if that isn't already, the ability to respawn at these facilities. That's just my thoughts on it. You can totally disagree with me and go, you're crazy, Bored. What do you think? What are you thinking about this, Sin? You want to be able to respawn in these areas, or do you think it's fine to travel back to them?
No, you need to respawn in them.
Yeah, and they're quite extensive facilities as well. There's quite a lot going on with them. I suppose you run the risk of just zerging them if you can respawn there though. Maybe a respawn counter.
Yeah, it's a balancing act for CIG, really, isn't it?
Yeah. I do think that they'll be able to solve a lot of this for live because there's going to be less of a player density issue and there's going to be more players split across doing lots more stuff, not just the Onyx facilities. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. I'm really interested to know other people's points of view on 4.3, the extension of the resource drive, Onyx facilities, the ladder updates, what ships they're hoping to win the ship Showdown. Are they excited for any of the stuff in the monthly report, with like the Perseus and the Apollo being almost ready? And do you think that's going to be released during the IAE? We are expecting 4.3 to be released by the end of the month, probably in a couple of weeks. And yeah, that is kind of it, Sin. You can say goodbye now if you want.
Goodbye now if you want.
Wow, you're the worst. Zin, before you go.
Yes.
NordVPN. Why should NordVPN?
Oh, because it helps you on the internet.
Does it help you on the internet?
It holds your hand.
It holds your hand, not literally, but it does provide better accessibility, security, and what's the other one, Zin?
Oh, privacy?
Yeah, that'll do. Big discounts if you use the links below, or you can go to nordvpn.com/BoredGamer.
Yes.
I've been BoredGamer. That's been Sinya. See you later. NordVPN. Links below. Things like that. Thanks for watching. Every month we have a ship giveaway, and we're giving away an RSI Meteor, that new medium fighter with lifetime insurance and a gameplay package for Star Citizen. Everything you need to play with a cool fighter and pew-pew some fools. Just comment on any of our videos made during this month to be in for a chance of winning that. Something else that you might like to do is like, share, subscribe to our videos. There's a join button underneath as well. There's Patreon. You give us a little bit of money each month and it helps out the channel immensely. Occasionally we have some exclusive videos. come to my Discord, discord.gg/BoredGamer. Also, you should comment on all the videos, not just because of the giveaway, but also because you can give me feedback. And I want to say a massive thank you to the people that have supported the channel via any medium, but genuinely, you guys that go the extra mile to use that join button or Patreon, it is genuinely so appreciated. Thank you so much.